How do you know if you're enabling a loved one? How do you know if you're enabling a loved one? It's understandable that you want to help your loved one. Their addiction has a grasp on them and you want to set them free. But are you helping or are you enabling? Addiction is a progressive and often terminal illness. Most addicted people can't stay sick by themselves. In other words, addiction requires an enabling system to continue to progress. I talked to Addiction Campus's Erica Lathan for some examples.
All right, so we're here today to talk a little bit about unconditional love versus enabling behavior. And while we all want to care about and take care of our loved ones, we want to be sure that we don't cross the line into behavior that actually enables them or helps to facilitate their addiction. Maybe making a car payment or paying their rent when you know they've spent their money on drugs or alcohol. Maybe provide them with some food or a hot meal or take them groceries, or perhaps you could help to fund a treatment program, something where your financial contribution would be much more constructive.
We have to find ways to help people through their struggle, not to their struggle. It's easy to confuse those things when you're coming from a place of worry or fear, but enabling does far more damage than most people realize.
A lot of what we see is people with good intentions.
They want to help their loved ones get better, but in the later stages of addiction, enabling becomes an act of desperation. Family members start to blame each other for things that the addict are doing. They try to rationalize the reasons why they're doing it, but with them justifying this, that they're essentially just giving the addict excuses and they're loving them to death.
I was a master manipulator, so my family and the doctors were my biggest enablers. I could victimize them to think that I needed money for anything, and they just kept feeding me more money. I would have every tragedy in the world happen to me. Electric bill was short, paycheck didn't come in on time. Car broke down, whatever the circumstance was, and I would always call my family and, make them feel sorry for me, and they would, give me money to support what they thought was that tragedy, and in fact, I was using it to buy drugs.
Now that's a scary thought. Your loved one buying drugs with the money that you had meant for food, gasoline, or to pay a bill. And parents have reasons to be scared. According to a recent CNN report, teen overdose death rates climbed 19% last year. So what's a parent to do?
There's nothing stronger than a parent's love for their child. And so when I'm suffering, my parents want to fix it. My life is not theirs to fix. This is my responsibility. Parents don't see the fact that they're enabling their kids by giving them certain things or not holding them true to what they really need to value. When I got out of treatment the first time, my mother values my emotional stability. And I'm upset, I'm going through depression, all these things out of treatment. I convince her to buy me a 6-pack of beer because I had a pill problem. And she's wanting the best for me, but she doesn't want to see me suffer.
Enabling tears down relationships. Suddenly, you can't talk to your loved one for fear that they might blow up on you. Constantly having to tiptoe around them, you put aside your own needs, which in turn cause resentment. And all the while, they're still living a self-destructive lifestyle. And like your relationship, it's just not getting better.
I was crafty. I would get the money in any way I had to. Beg, borrow, steal. I ended up in jail several times for my illegal activity. My bottoms were pretty devastating. I ended up losing everything. Lost my career, lost my home. Ultimately, my husband died of an overdose. And I lost my children. So the first couple of times I was arrested, my family was very supportive. They would always try to help me, bond me out. They didn't want to see me sitting in jail. I called my mom and I asked her to help me, and she said, call your drug dealer, and hung up the phone. That helped me hit the bottoms hard enough to know that my family was done. After I was arrested, and my mom, basically cut me off. They stayed completely out of my life until I made the decision to go into a recovery program. When they cut me off, it forced me into a situation, it forced me far enough down into the hole to know that there was no other choice. I had to do something different because my way wasn't working anymore. I'm now in recovery because somebody finally told me no and pointed me in the direction of sobriety.
In sober living, the most important thing people need is a support system to keep them connected to mind, body, and spirit. So in a sober living house, when I'm suffering, they know the cure is not just a quick fix. They're not going to say everything's fine, everything's okay. They know that I need some spiritual connection. They know I need people to help. So they'll pick me up, they'll take me to an AA meeting. They'll take me to do some volunteer work. We see it all the time. People will want the easier, softer way. They want things to be okay immediately because I'm looking for instant gratification. I'm a drug addict at heart, and I want things to be okay. They need people who won't make excuses for their behavior, but will give them the support and encouragement that they need.
Many families feel guilty for their loved ones' addictions, and they enable out of that guilt. With help, you can learn to stop this destructive behavior. Just as the addict cannot get better alone, neither can the codependent. There's a difference between helping and enabling. Knowing that difference is crucial to getting your loved one into treatment and getting them the help that they need.
If you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, we're here to help. Give us a call at 888-216-4032. For new episodes of Around the Turn, make sure to hit subscribe below.